Connor Haney. That is his first touchdown of the year. He has not reeled one in for 6 yet, and there he does, just on a simple fade route to the pylon, nearly wide open. That Superior defense going to have to make some adjustments after that drive. Went for 6, and the solid return set up the Crusaders to start the drive on the 36-yard line. And just a 5-play drive sets them up here, 7-0. And as I'm looking around, I do not see Axel Escalante. He is not suited up tonight. I believe he has a concussion. And it's too bad because Axel Escalante is one of the Crusaders' leading rushers. He's been averaging 40 rushing yards per game and is the lead back for the Crusaders. Only second behind Grayson Sack in rushing yards per game, who has 65 yards per game. As we know, Grayson Sack, a dual threat athlete, really likes to use his legs. There, it was all his arm on that drive and punched in an easy 6. Wildcats preparing to start their first offensive drive and taking over Escalante's duties on the kickoff team tonight. Number 60, I do not have a number 61. Solid return here for the Wildcats. Breaks a few tackles, and then he's finally brought down around the 31-yard line. And as I'm listening to the PA announcer, I believe I may be all wrong. I believe Axel Escalante has a jersey change. As I hear Mr. Tino Martinez on the PA announce, Axel Escalante has number 61. Used to wear number 32. Maybe left it in the washing machine, you never know. I formation here for the Wildcats. First play of offense. The handoff, he is met quick by Grayson Sack, and that'll be just a 3-yard gain there for the first play of offense for the Wildcats. On the carry was number 20. That's Kyler Boyles, the leading rusher for the Superior Wildcats. Kyler Boyles is averaging 137 rush yards per game, and he has 1 touchdown on the year. And interestingly enough, he is also the leading tackler with 11 tackles a game for the Wildcats. The Wildcats' only win this year is against Palmyra, which was a home game, and they won that 27-13 in the shotgun. Sanders will keep it, fakes the give. Pickup of, call it 5.5 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and short situation here for the Wildcats in their own territory. Grayson Sack has made both tackles. Big 3rd down here for the Wildcats on their own 39-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield alongside Sanders. He'll give to Boyles, and Boyles will be about a yard short. It'll bring up 4th and 1. And Sanders will stay on the field. No personnel change here for the Wildcats, and it looks like they could be going for it here on a big 4th down on their first offensive drive of the game for the Superior Wildcats. Pistol set here for Sanders. 2 wide, 2 in the backfield. Hard count. He'll give it to Boyles, and Boyles will not get it. Depending on the spot, could be close, but to me it looked like he did not get it. And it looks like they could be bringing the chains out. Here comes the chain gang. The white cap tonight is referee Jimmy Lang. legend Crusader referee. And that's going to be short. And that is a turnover on downs. On the 4th and 1 stand for the Crusaders. Crusaders will take over with excellent field position, excuse me. And the Crusaders, no huddle, they're ready. 8.5 minutes left in this first quarter. All Crusaders so far. And this will be interesting to see if the Superior Wildcats can make some adjustments, because that first drive there by the Crusaders was a walk in the park, if I don't say so myself. Sack takes the snap, a little bit of a high snap. He's going deep, looking for Stava. Ball just a little too high there for Stava to reel it in. Grayson Sack really liking the deep ball tonight. I heard from a little birdie this week that the Crusaders believe they are dropping 50 points tonight, which is a bold claim. That is a tough feat for any football team to do. But we'll see. Grayson Sack alone in the backfield, 5 wide. And Connor Haney had the first down, couldn't reel it in as the ball hits the dirt. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Looks like head coach Jeff Ashby really liking the pass tonight. Must like the matchup that his playmakers have against this Wildcats defense. Sack surveys looking right. He's looking for Haney and just misses him on the crosser. And it'll bring up 4th and 10. Likely a punt here. Crusaders tend to do the little fake lineup punt, as Sack will drop back just before he takes the snap. And we'll see if they're going to do that here. Looks like they're going aggressive. Sack takes the snap, looking, flushes out, makes a man miss. He's close to the marker, and he's got the first down with his legs. Grayson Sack weaving in and out of defenders, and he does just enough and plows through the final defender to pick up the first down on an aggressive play call on 4th and 10. Jeff Ashby, extreme confidence here tonight against this opponent of the Superior Wildcats, and the Crusaders have 1st and 10 in the Wildcat, on the Wildcat 28, and Sack takes it with his legs again. He's got momentum, and he's got another first down. Grayson Sack's speed showing off there. That first drive was done all by Grayson Sack's arm, and this drive so far has been done all by his legs. Grayson Sack does lead this team in all-purpose yards per game with 327 per game. And now head coach Ryan Renz for the Superior Wildcats is going to take a timeout, and we'll take a short break with them. Resuming play here with 7:33 left on the play clock. We've got Grayson Sack leading this offense, especially on this drive with just his legs, accompanied by Alberts in the backfield to his left. Sack takes the snap, going to keep it himself, and he's swallowed up immediately by a large group of Wildcats, and that will go for a loss. The Crusaders' first negative yardage play of the night. One of the first solid defensive plays there by the Wildcats, which they need a slew of them if they want to get back into this game, with Crusaders knocking on the door on their second offensive drive in the 5 Points Bank red zone. Sack surveying. Looks up top for Connor Haney. Here he reels one in near the first down marker, using his big 6'2" frame to go up and grab it from the top shelf, and he reels it in, and that sets up a 3rd and 2 here for the Crusaders. Sack in the shotgun. High snap is going to give the pitch to Alberts, and Alberts takes a big hit, and it looks like that's going to go for no gain. 4th and 2 on the play. Ball spotted on the right hash mark. Crusaders, no doubt, going for this one. Stava outright. Sun shining upon the offense and the defense. Sack looking, flushes out to his right, and makes a man miss. Getting chased down, and he looks, and it is caught by Jack Alberts. For a second, looked like he dropped it, but he reels one in on the scramble play there by Grayson Sack, and he finds his junior classmate, Jack Alberts, to extend this lead to 13-0, 14-0, pending the extra point. Crusaders look relaxed in this football game here on this Friday night. Escalante rocking 61 tonight, and he gets the kick to tack on the extra point to make it 14-0 here for the Crusaders. 6 minutes left here, not even halfway through with this first quarter, and the Crusaders are cooking, and we'll catch you after a quick break. Coming out of the short break, Crusaders up big here in this first quarter, 14-0. Superior Wildcats desperately need a score here to keep this one from slipping away from their paws. The Superior Wildcats are winless away this year, and the Crusaders are winless at home, hence only having played one game at home, which was against Malcolm, the homecoming game, and they lost. And the Wildcats have played one away game. The return here is going to go nowhere. Won't eclipse the 20-yard line. An excellent open field tackle there by the Crusaders, and that's going to make this tough Wildcat situation even tougher. Crusaders, like I said, they just look relaxed tonight. They just look like they're absolutely in control. Just a business trip out here to the GICC field where they play all of their home games. And now the Wildcats with a lot of work to do. They've got 81 yards to travel to the end zone. Sanders takes the snap, going to keep it himself. Oh, he's got a lot of room here. He picks up a first down and more until he's finally met after a 16-yard pickup. Excellent read there by Sanders on the read option. And the Crusaders couldn't snuff that one out quick enough after he picked up the first down, and only had one man to beat. Luckily, that was Sack, the safety, who could make the tackle. Sanders not afraid to use his feet. He has a fair share of yards this year on the ground. 3 wide. Sanders in the pistol. Sanders showing blitz. Sanders going to keep it himself. And another solid pickup there by Sanders with his feet. He's going to get 4 yards there. It'll bring up 2nd and medium. Lincoln Sander has 3 touchdown passes on the year. And the Crusaders, the Superior Wildcats have amassed a total of 33 points this year, which in comparison to the Crusaders' 85 just shows they have a tough matchup here tonight. And going deep there. Well, not too deep, but Sander was looking for his target. That was number 3, Colton Butler, and he just couldn't reel that one in. Ball a little too high, and that'll bring up 3rd and 6. Four and a half minutes left on the play clock in this first quarter. Wildcats going 3 wide. Sander in shotgun with Boyles to his right. Motion man. It's going to be a quick flip pass, and the Crusaders nearly got a shoelace tackle to stop it behind the line of scrimmage, but it'll end up being a gain of, call it 2, and that'll bring up 4th and 3 for the Superior Wildcats. Wildcats just struggling to get some momentum going. A 4th and 4 save here would be huge for their offense, as they've gone down 14-0 in a big hole pretty quick here in this game, and they've got some digging to do. And looks like they're set to punt. It's Boyles set for the punt. Big booming kick. Solid return here by Wolf, and he is met in the open field, and it'll be a return of about 5 yards, and that'll set up the Crusader offense on their own 32-yard line. Wolf has had a really nice year of returning punts this year. So has Stava. Stava in the first game had a punt return that went for about 50 yards and was just a yard short of going into the end zone. Would have been his 6th total touchdown of the year. Motion man for the Crusaders, and we're going to get a premature whistle. We're going to get a false start here on the Crusaders to back them up before the drive starts. And that'll bring up 1st and 15. Beautiful night here for some football. Partly cloudy. This weather has been dropping as the sun drops with it. Motion man looks like the Crusaders going to run that same play, and Sack is going to keep it. Gives the pitch. Oh, and he's got some open field, just 2 guys to beat. Makes a man miss, and he is brought down at the 40-yard line. That's number 8, Mason Vasquez. What a pickup there on 1st and 15 for Vasquez. Mason Vasquez typically is quarterback 2 on this team, but here they had him out wide, and he ran a little motion play, and Sack gave him the pitch, and Vasquez was nearly gone for 6. Now on this 1st and down play here for the Crusaders in the Wildcat territory. Sack looks like he wants to run it himself. He will, and he is spun down after a short gain of, call it, 3 yards. Crusaders on offense are cooking right now. And now it looks like we've got a 32. I'm gonna have to ask Axel what's going on with the jersey change. Sack pitches it to Axel Escalante, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage, and that's gonna go for a big loss. A loss of 6 yards on the play. So the Crusaders now with a third down play behind the sticks, 3rd and 11.
Number 32, Axel Escalante, the ball carrier, tackled for a short loss by number 20, Tyler Boyle.
I'm very interested in this jersey change here for Escalante. Not sure if he thought this was college, if he had to switch numbers for playing both sides of the ball. And we've got a whistle that'll blow the play dead. And we're going to get an offsides here on the Wildcats, so that'll make this third down play a little more manageable here for the Crusaders. Moves the line of scrimmage 5 yards closer to the line to gain. 3rd and 6 play, and we're going to get a false start here now on Graham Stava. So we'll resume play from where the line of scrimmage was before. Crusaders this year have typically been pretty accurate, pretty disciplined with not getting called for any mental penalties, and here both teams have their fair share of flags tonight. Grayson Sack looking deep, will go for Haney in the crosser. Oh, he makes a man miss, and he's got some room to run, and a solid pickup there of about 30 yards there for Haney on the dig route over the middle. And that's what his positions really become this year. They really like using his big body in the open space in the middle. He's pretty much a slot receiver at this point. He could play tight end with his size. And Sack picked him up for a nice gain there. Sack looking in the end zone. Ooh, into double coverage. He was looking for number 4. That's Cedric Hinkey in the end zone. And now it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 with 11 to get to the end zone. Coming in for Hinkey is Vasquez. We're just under a minute to play in this first quarter with the Crusaders threatening in the 5 Points Bank red zone once again. Wildcats showing blitz, and Escalante hits the turf before he could get his wheels going past the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a loss of about 1.5, call it 2 yards. And now it's 3rd and 12 to go for the Crusaders here to end off the quarter. Escalante accompanies Sack in the backfield. Sack takes it, and he's got a man behind him, makes a man miss. Running for his life. He's got some room, and he's going to let it fly to the back corner of the end zone. He's got a touchdown. Braylon Wolf, the sophomore, in the back left corner of the end zone, is found wide open to give the Crusaders a 20-0 lead with 18 seconds to go in this first quarter. Grayson Sack looking like prime Brett Favre out there. He flushed right, flushed left, and he found the wide open Braylon Wolf in the end zone. Escalante set to tack on the extra point here. Left foot is wrapped, and the kick is up, and it'll go. Crusaders with a dominant first quarter. Nothing but the Crusaders. I'm sure head coach Ryan Renz here for the Wildcats has got some talking to do to his team. They've got to make some adjustments on defense for sure, and their offense just has to get their legs under them. And we'll cut to a short break. Welcome back here to the Grand Island Senior High Stadium as the Crusaders are holding on to a strong 21-0 lead here over the Superior Wildcats. This first quarter still hasn't ended yet, and the Crusaders have punched it in 3 times. Wildcats here on the return, and this one won't make it past the 20-yard line. It'll make it to the 19-yard line to make it exact, and the Wildcats have 81 yards to go again.
Number 16 in there on the tackle for the Crusaders, Chaluski.
Lincoln Sander, the quarterback for the Wildcats this year, with 307 pass yards. His favorite receiver this year, who hasn't seen a target yet, is Dane Clark, the tight end number 44. He has 2 reception touchdowns this year. Sander, I'm sure, will be looking for his big body tight end number 44 on this drive to get things going. It'll start off with a run play here for the Wildcats. It's a give to Boyles, and that's going to go for about 3 yards, 4 yards. Solid pickup on first down there for the Wildcats. And that's the end of the first quarter. This first quarter has been all Crusaders so far. But the Wildcats have their work cut out for them when the second quarter begins, and we'll cut to a short commercial. As play resumes, Superior set to take it on 2nd and 6 to start off this second quarter on their own 23-yard line. Sander back to take the snap. He's going to give it to Boyles, and Boyles is met immediately by an entourage of Crusader defenders, and that will just go for a gain of 1 yard. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 5 to go. As I said earlier, the Superior Wildcats have only scored 33 total points of offense through 3 games this year, so definitely not the mark they want to be at. They've got some work to do on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm sure they're looking to do that here tonight. Although against a tough opponent, the 10th ranked C2 football team, the Crusaders. Sander takes the snap. Pressure on him, and he's not going to have a chance at making a completion there. The target was number 3, Colton Butler, the junior wide receiver. And now it's going to bring up 4th and 5 here for the Wildcats. Likely punt situation here. Wolf drop backs in anticipation. Punt is blocked by the Crusaders. Ball still in the air. And Escalante will track it down, and the Crusaders are going to have superb field position set up for them here. Their first play of this drive will be in the 5 Points Bank red zone on the Wildcat 12-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Wildcats have had no chance of getting that punt out when you saw that ball snapped just immediately. So many Crusaders breached through the line of scrimmage and got the easy blocked punt there. Play clock is ticking. Grayson Sack wants to hurry this offense up. 3 right, 1 left. Escalante in the backfield. And it's a wheel route for Escalante. He makes the catch, and he is met, but not after a solid gain of about 6 yards on that first play of this 4th Crusader drive, which is starting on the Wildcat 12-yard line after the blocked punt. Bringing the play from the sideline is number 10, the junior Dalton Ewers. Crusaders with a chance to go up 4 scores right here and get their first win at home in 3 years. Sack takes the snap, gives it to Escalante. Escalante powering through close to the marker. The ball is out. And that's a Wildcat recovery on 2nd down. Escalante lost the football as he was powering towards the 1st down marker. And a solid defensive play there by the Wildcats, just what they needed in that situation. And Escalante pats his chest, gives the hand of accountability. Defensively, you're celebrating. You're super happy you just made that big play, but offensively now, you're playing from your own end zone, worried about a safety with how the Crusader defense has been swarming in the backfield so far. So definitely murky waters here. Past the fumble recovery for the Wildcats. They've got 96 yards to go to the end zone. 10:20 on the clock remaining in this first half. 2 right, 1 left pistol set here for Sanders. For Sander, excuse me. Takes the snap, gonna give, and he's met immediately. And that's gonna be a loss of 2. And now the ball will be marked on the 3-yard line. Well, that brings up 2nd and 12 here for the Wildcats. And this Crusader defense looking calm, cool, and relaxed out there. The offensive set here is 2 right, 1 left. Boyles in the backfield to the right of Sander. He takes the snap, going to give to Boyles, and Boyles, he's in, and he will be marked at the 1-yard line, inches away from a safety. At that point, you just got to give it to him. I mean, the Crusaders, you could tell they wanted it so bad. Dax Gelletley, the sophomore defensive back, running in. He thought they were in for a safety. So did I. However, it will just go for a loss of 1, and now it's 3rd and 14 from the 1-yard line. Sander in shotgun, well back into the end zone. He's going to give to Boyles, and Boyles does make it past the goal line. And it'll go for a gain of about 2 yards. Now that brings up 4th and 11. A sure, no doubt punt situation here for the Wildcats. But now the Wildcats have to wonder. They have to be concerned about the back of the end zone coming into play here with how far the punter is going to have to be backed up to get some room to get this punt off. As you know, that last punt was blocked. An interesting situation here. We'll see how it plays out. A blocked punt that would go through the back of the end zone would end up being a touchdown, or touchback, excuse me, not a touchdown, and that would start the Crusader offense from the 20-yard line. And now, wisely, Coach Renz for the Superior Wildcats is going to take a timeout to talk things over with his squad, and we'll catch you after a short break. After the timeout, Wildcats set to punt. Boyles, the punter, in the way back of the end zone. He quickly gets the punt off, and that one a little bit pulled left, no return. And that will set up the Crusaders' drive to start on the 24-yard line is where the official spot will be. And once again, excellent starting field position for the Crusaders to start off this second quarter drive with 8 minutes to play in the first half. Sack in the shotgun with Alberts to his left, 4 wide. Crusaders still going pass. He's got Haney in the end zone and just off of his fingertips. Excuse me, that's Stava on the target. And that would have been a quick strike had Stava reeled that one in just off of his fingertips. He had the defensive back burned. But the Wildcats will thank their lucky stars as Stava couldn't reel it in the end zone. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Crusaders. Trips left. Haney on his lonesome on the right side. And Alberts in the backfield. Sack looking left. He's got an open man, and it's another dropped ball. This one is Mason Vasquez, who was on the out route. And now after a couple dropped passes, that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Not sure if the Crusader coaching staff is going to allow Escalante to kick from long range tonight with his wrapped foot. But hopefully the Crusaders here can pick up the first down, so that's not in question. Sack surveys the defense, and that one, too much on it. And now it is 4th and 10. Field goal from here would be about a 36-yarder. About 37 yards for a field goal, and some conversation here for the Crusaders. 4th and 10 in enemy territory. Not in field goal formation. The offense is out there. Sack takes the snap, escapes some pressure, and he's going to miss an open Connor Haney. Looks like the ball might have just slipped as it hits the turf pretty quickly, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So the Wildcats get extremely lucky that those first 2 balls were dropped, and then they make a solid stand there to get the ball back, down by 3 scores with 7:38 left on this clock. Escalante comes off the field. Sander in the backfield, motion man, he's gonna flip it. And the Crusaders eventually track him down to make the tackle after a gain of 2. That was number 21, Camden Boyles, the freshman on the carry. Just quite couldn't get the edge around the Crusaders. And the Crusader defense has been solid here tonight. Obviously, as you see that Wildcat goose egg on the scoreboard. Twins right, lone receiver on the left, Boyles in the backfield, and Sander will keep it. And he's nearing the first down marker, depending on the spot of the officials, and they're going to move the chains for the first down there. And the Wildcats pick up a solid first down there, and their offense may finally be getting some much-needed momentum. Sander in the backfield. Boyles set behind him. Pass play here for the Wildcats, going deep, high lofted ball, and a bit of a push maybe, but that ball had no chance of being caught as it hits the white painted grass. He was targeting number 44, Dane Clark, the junior, his favorite target this year. Dane Clark has 2 reception touchdowns on the year. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Wildcats. .606 left on this play clock. Excuse me, game clock. Sander going to keep it himself. He's got a lot of speed built up, and he picks up the first down with ease. Solid drive here so far for the Wildcats. 2 first downs already. Ball is spotted on the Wildcat 46-yard line. Just over the G of that GI logo. Sander gives it to Boyles this time, and Boyles powering through. And a solid pickup on first down there of about 6 yards. And now the Wildcats have rocked the ball down into enemy territory with 5 minutes to play. It's been a solid drive here so far for the Wildcats, which they haven't had yet. Much needed. Big hole to climb out of here for the Wildcats. And we're going to get an early whistle and a delay of game. Interesting to see that in this situation. Looked like Sander just didn't snap the ball in time. And now head referee Jimmy Langen having a face-to-face conversation with quarterback Sander. And now the whistle blows. Sander takes the snap. Good pressure by the Crusaders. Sander makes a man miss, and he loses the football. Crusaders haven't picked it up yet. They got it, and now the Crusaders take over. Sander made one man miss, and then the second one got to him, and he just lost the football. Escalante couldn't get his paws around it, and then finally a Crusader picks it up as it was nearing the out-of-bounds line, and the Crusaders are going to take over on the Wildcat 14-yard line. An interesting play there. Looked like they were playing hot potato. And now the Crusaders' first play of this drive will start in the 5 Points Bank red zone with 4.5 minutes to play. And it looked like there could have been some like Looney Tunes music playing over that play, and it would have fit. Grayson Sack takes the snap, going to give it to Alberts, and the Wildcats sniffed that one out pretty quick, and that's going to go for a loss of 2 on the first down play. Alberts has been carrying the ball quite a bit tonight. Maybe some compensation for Escalante's slight foot discomfort, as we can see as his foot is wrapped. Escalante is wearing 32 right now. He was wearing 61 earlier. We'll have to get the inside scoop on that. Motion man. It's Stava. It's going to be a give to Alberts, and Alberts has a nice gain here. And that'll push it inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 here for the Crusaders. They're knocking on the door once again. Wolf running into the huddle to deliver the play. Crusaders up 21-0 here with a chance to make it 28-0 if they play their cards right. Nearing 3 minutes to play. Trips left set here on the offensive play. Sack makes a move, makes a juke. He's got the first down. He's near the end zone. And he's going to be spotted just at the 1 yard line. That's going to move the chains. Grayson Sack, he knew, I'm keeping this ball, and he made a man miss. What a lateral movement there by Sack just to get the juke. And then the powerful run through the defender to pick up the first down. Grayson Sack getting it done with his legs. 65 rush yards per game for Grayson Sack. He's the leading rusher for the Crusaders. It's going to be Twins left. Stava alone on the right side. Alberts in the backfield. It's a give. And Alberts is into the end zone. Crusaders punch it in to go up 27-0 in the first half. Escalante fumbled the kicking tee, but eventually he gets it. Might have been a little foreshadowing that he fumbled the ball earlier. I'm going to have to ask him about the jersey change, though. Wearing 32 now. Escalante set for the kick. No doubt. Escalante 4 for 4 on PATs. And the Crusaders go up 28-0. The big defensive play there for the fumble recovery on the pressure on Sander sets up the big touchdown that was punched in by Jack Alberts. And the Crusaders are rolling right now with 2:20 to play, and we'll cut to a short break. Welcome back to some Friday Night Lights action here tonight in the Memorial Stadium. Escalante set to kick it. Solid kick. And it's going to be fielded, and the Crusaders have a lot of blue jerseys surrounding the returner. He's going to be swallowed up inside the 10-yard line, and that's going to make this Wildcat offense, which hasn't had much going for it tonight, it's going to make its job a whole lot harder, starting their drive inside the 10-yard line, maybe right at the 10-yard line. 2:15 left to play on the game clock. Sun setting here tonight on the Memorial Field. It's just about 80 degrees here tonight with the sun setting. Just a slight cool breeze here tonight. Wildcats haven't got much done on offense. Sander gonna keep it himself. He's got some room on this one. Makes him in, miss, and he's got a first down. And that's gonna be a pickup of 15. Solid first down play there with Sanders' legs. And that's going to bring the first down play to the Wildcats' own 25-yard line. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to play. I formation for the Wildcats. 2 right, 1 left. Boyles will be met up at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to bring up 2nd and long. Crusaders saw that coming all day long. Boyles had no chance of escaping the pressure on that one. Kyler Boyles hasn't had much going for him tonight. He averages 137 rush yards per game. But tonight, he's been kept in line by this Crusader defense. Play clock under 5. Sander drops the snap. He loses the ball again. And we're going to have to check the pile here. And it's Crusader ball, as the baby blue jerseys were at the bottom of that dog pile. And this has just gotten messy here for the Wildcats. Crusaders going to start off their 3rd possession of the night in the red zone. I'm going to say that again. Their 3rd possession they're starting in the red zone. Crusaders up 28-0 tonight. And they've only got 19 yards to the end zone. Crusaders absolutely dominating tonight. They're ranked 10th in Class C2. Their only loss this year was to Malcolm, the homecoming game on a Thursday, which they held their own. And tonight looking like it could be their first home win in 3 years. Sack takes the snap. He's going deep again. He wants a touchdown, and he's got it. Connor Haney, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the night. First play of the drive. 19-yard strike from Sack to Haney. A 5-second play. And now it's 34-0 in the first half. Escalante set to tack on the extra point. Axel Escalante, my classmate, an excellent kicker. And he's got his 5th PAT of the night. 5 for 5 for Escalante on PATs. A no-doubt kicker. And the Crusaders up 35-0. There you see on the replay the strike to the back of the end zone. It was Connor Haney. Just blew the wheels right off of his defender and had him beat. Now we're going to cut to a quick break. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Grand Island, Nebraska. If you're just tuning in with us now, you've missed a whole lot of Crusader offense. It's 35-0. Axel Escalante set to kick it off with 1:09 left in this first half. And this kick's a good one. Fielded while backtracking, and the Crusaders are going to make another big stop to the return, and that's going to set up the Superior Wildcat offense on their own 8-yard line. Man, the Wildcats just haven't had much success on the kick returns tonight. They've only made it past the 20-yard line once of every return tonight. And the Wildcats have 1 minute and 4 seconds to go about 4/5 the length of the field. Sanders set to take the snap. Lots of pressure here for the Crusaders. And it's going to be a solid gain there on the quick out to the receiver, number 3, Colton Butler. Butler doesn't make it out of bounds, so the clock will tick. And the Wildcats not showing too much hustle as they're letting the clock tick. They do have a long way to go to the end zone. Under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Low snap, it's going to be a give to Boyles. And Boyles nearing the first down marker. Going to be marked a yard short. And now that's going to bring up 3rd and 1, and the clock is still ticking. And it looks like that will be the last play of the half unless they get a quick snap. They will. Sander takes it. He's going to give to Boyles. Boyles got the first down. It won't matter. It'll be a gain of about 4, and that's the end of the first half. Crusaders with a 35-0 lead over Superior in just the first half. It's been all Crusaders tonight, and the Wildcats have a lot to talk over in the halftime intermission. And now we will turn the attention to the GICC cheer team as they will perform, and then shortly after them will be the Crusader dance team. We'll see you at the start of the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the cheerleaders will be performing a routine to pilot cheer music choreographed by J.C. Palick and Lainey Kamelka. Performing tonight are freshmen Alexa Porter, Kendall Fleeby, Madison Graybill, and Molly Kenna. Sophomores tonight are Emerson Todd and Tatum Hammond. Juniors, Josie Seeloff, Captain J.C. Palick, and Captain Lainey Kamelka. The GICC cheerleaders are coached by Taylor Schultz. Next up is the GICC dance team. The GICC dance team will be performing a palm routine to get ready, choreographed by the UDA staff. Performing tonight is senior captain Evie Peterson, junior co-captain Cutler Oberviller Schneider, junior Emerson Bonsack, sophomore Ellie Connick, sophomore Maylee Mary, and freshman Arabella Riesling. The GICC dance team is coached by Miss Erin Martinez. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please draw your attention to midfield as we introduce the 2024 and 2023 Grand Island Central Catholic Athletic Hall of Fame classes. First, our first inductee tonight is Gable Baldwin from the class of 2003. Gable was a standout in track and field where he excelled in the pole vault. Gable won the Class B and all-class gold at the 2003 Nebraska State Track Meet, before going on to a storied career at the University of Nebraska. Gabe was named an NCAA All-American while winning the Big 12 championship in the pole vault. He was the team captain for the Huskers in 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, Gable Baldwin.
Gabe.
Next,
they're just going to go down the line. Just follow them. Derek, zoom in on those people.
From the class of 1995. Val was a dominant volleyball player who also excelled in basketball and track for the Crusaders. She concluded her GICC volleyball career as the all-time leader in blocks and was a standout player at Kansas State University. Valerie earned all Big 12 honors in 1997 and 1998 while serving as the team captain for the Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, Valerie Week. Next is a member of the 2023 Hall of Fame class, Miss Jenny Green, a graduate of the class of 2003. Jenny is honored for her exceptional achievements in track and field, volleyball, and powerlifting while competing for the Crusaders. A standout at GICC, Jenny set a Nebraska high school pole vault record of 13 feet 3 inches winning the all-class gold for all 4 years of her high school career. She went on to a stellar career in the pole vault for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Jenny was a member of the first Hall of Fame class of 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jenny Green. Next, Jenny Ann Kropp from the class of 1998. Jenny Kropp is being inducted into the Grand Island Central Catholic Athletic Hall of Fame for her outstanding contributions to volleyball. At the University of Nebraska, Jenny played a key role in the Cornhuskers' undefeated 2000 National Championship season. She earned All-America honors in 2001 and served as the team captain for the Huskers. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenny Ann Kropp. Next, we have Todd Peterson. Todd was a three-sport standout in football, basketball, and track. He helped lead his Crusader basketball team to an undefeated regular season and his track team to a state championship. Todd went on to play football for the Huskers from 2005 to 2008, finishing his career with the third most receptions in school history, as well as numerous academic honors. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Peterson. Next, Mike McLaren. From the class of 1983. Mike was a two-time state champion in wrestling for the Crusaders. He helped lead his Crusader wrestling team to a state championship in 1982. He continued his wrestling career at Chadron State College, where he became an NAIA national champion. Mike tragically died in a car accident in June of 2009 at the age of 43. Here tonight representing Mike is his sister, Michelle Hicks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike McLaren. Next, Bob Root Jr. from the class of 1981. Bob was a versatile athlete, excelling in football, basketball, and golf for the Crusaders. Bob was named to the All-State football team twice, and he is remembered as one of the greatest football players and competitors in Crusader history. He continued his football success at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, where he earned all conference honors. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Root Jr. Next, Eric Strand from the class of 1995. Eric was a basketball star known for his versatility on the court. He was the key contributor, positioning Crusader basketball as one of the top programs in Nebraska. Eric is still the all-time leading scorer at the University of Nebraska-Kearney with 2,173 points. He continued his basketball career playing professionally in Europe, South America, and the United States. He is known as one of the best to ever play basketball at Grand Island Central Catholic and the University of Nebraska-Kearney. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Strand. Next is Coach Carl Tesmer. Coach Tesmer is a graduate of the class of 1966. Coach Tesmer was a standout athlete for the Crusaders, earning letters in 3 sports and was named the KRGI Athlete of the Year in 1966. As a coach, he left a lasting impact, coaching over 50 years in Catholic schools. Coach Tesmer ranks 3rd all-time in Nebraska high school football with 349 career wins. Coach Carl Tesmer was an inductee of the inaugural 2023 Athletic Hall of Fame class. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach
Gabe.
Carl Tesmer.
That was the wrong guy. Yeah, he's in the white hat.
Next,
All right.
Coach Keith Kester. Coach Kester has been coaching
He's not out there
Grand
either.
Island
Just zoom
Central
out a little
Catholic
bit.
since 1981.
Just zoom out. He's
and
not
is
down there.
Currently in the locker room with the football team. Coach Kester has been a cornerstone of GICC athletics since 1981, serving as the head boys and girls track and field coach, as well as many seasons as the defensive coordinator for our Crusader football team. Coach Kester led the Crusader boys track team to state championships in 2004 and 2022. His athletes have won numerous individual titles, and he has impacted countless student athletes over his many decades of coaching at GICC. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Keith Kester. Next, the legendary Sharon Zabala. Coach Zabala coached volleyball from 1975 up until 2024. She is honored in the Grand Island Central Catholic Athletic Hall of Fame for her legendary coaching career as the all-time winningest coach in Nebraska high school sports history. Coach Sharon Zabala compiled an impressive 1,177 wins and just 220 losses over her 49 years of coaching. Her teams won 11 state championships and finished runner-up 9 times. Coach Zabala was inducted with the inaugural 2023 Athletic Hall of Fame class. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Coach Sharon Zabala. Our next 3 inductions are some very special teams in Crusader sports history. First up, we have the 1963 boys tennis team. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1963 tennis team was the first team to ever bring home a state championship to Grand Island Central Catholic. With us tonight are the 3 members of that championship team: Tom Dalton, Grant Leon, and Jim Yilk. Tom and Jim finished runner-up competing in the doubles competition, while Grant captured the championship in singles. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1963 boys tennis team. Next, we have the 1976 Crusader football team. This Crusader football team finished as the Class B runner-up, losing a closely contested game to Schuyler in one of the coldest games on record. The season was one of the most exhilarating in school history as they were the first Crusader football team to qualify for the state playoffs. Here tonight, representing the 1976 runner-ups, are Rick Brown, Tim Hansen, Jerry Bixman, Gene Connolly, Don Doherty, Mark McGowan, Dave Sponel, Joel Smith, and head coach Carl Tesmer. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1976 Crusader football team. And lastly, we have the 1981 volleyball team. This Crusader volleyball team won the Class C state championship, defeating Howells Dodge in 2 sets. The 1981 team marked the first state championship for the legendary coach Sharon Zavala. Present tonight, representing the 1981 champions, are Chris Jarecki, Teresa Costello, Mary Brown, Doreen Lutt, Janice Liskey, Don Buck, Kate Stockman, and head coach Sharon Zavala. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1981 championship volleyball team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them all a big round of applause as we celebrate their outstanding achievements and welcome them to the Grand Island Central Athletic Hall of Fame.
Test, test, test.
Test, test, test. Test, 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 test.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to resume this second half of play here at the Memorial Field here at Grand Island Senior High's Stadium. Axel Escalante set to kick it off. It's Crusaders 35, Superior Wildcats 0. I have been informed during the break that Axel Escalante was playing a little bit of center, and to play center you got to wear a little bit of a higher number, so he was wearing 61 when he was center. Now he's wearing number 32 as kicker and running back, and it looks like Logue is back in to play center. Solid return here, and he's going to be thrown down. That's number 10. Number 10, Trey Blau on the return, and he'll just be thrown down. I'm joined alongside Spencer Weens, my senior classmate here. Thanks for joining me, Spencer.
Of course, just happy to be here.
Yep. George Washington here to the right of me. If I had a camera to show you what he looked like right now, I'd show you. It is USA themed down in the student section, and it doesn't get more USA than George Washington.
I am, in fact, back from the dead.
Just crossed the Delaware River freshly.
Absolutely.
Set to take the snap. It's Sander going to fake the give. He'll keep it. Solid pickup of about 2 yards, and it looks like the ball's out. There was a whistle, and the clock will run. No fumble on that one. And that'll bring up second and medium. Pyle just kept on pushing. Wildcats in a huge hole right now. Down 35-0, just playing for pride at this point in this second half. Sander in I formation, 2 right, 1 left. It's Boyles behind him. Sander looking on the crosser. He's got number 44. That is his favorite target. That's Dane Clark, the junior. Dane Clark has been targeted a few times, and he's going to reel that one in for a first down, and that will bring the Wildcat offense to their own 40-yard line. From the student section, how is it looking down there?
You know, we've seen better, but currently in the second half, we got an American flag running around down there, so that's always great to see.
Yeah, got a couple flags down there as we can see. We'll see if we can get a camera down there eventually. Sander gives it to Boyles on the first down play, and that's going to go for a short gain of about 4 yards, 3 yards. 3 yards is the official marking. It was number 9, Thomas Schneider, on the tackle. And we're under 9.5 minutes left to play in this third quarter. And the Wildcats facing a 2nd and 7 here from their own 44-yard line. 43-yard line, excuse me. Sander set to take the snap. Motion man, snap too high.
No.
And the Crusaders are going to recover another fumble after the bad snap.
Absolutely beautiful there, George.
Absolutely, you said it. And the Crusaders are going to get another drive starting in enemy territory. They've just been granted so many great scoring opportunities here. And now this Crusader offense is going to start on the Wildcat 29-yard line. Just messy from the Superior Wildcats tonight. Wildcats' only win this year has been against Palmyra, which was a sound defeat over Palmyra, 27-13. But now tonight they've just had nothing go their way. Sack takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's got some room. He is met by 3 Wildcats, but not after. He's going to pick up the first down and brings this Crusader offense into the 5 points bank red zone. Alberts approaches out of bounds. And the Crusaders are going to set up shop here on the first down play on the Wildcat 18-yard line. It's Escalante to the left of Sack in the backfield.
Oh, they pitch it.
And that one is sniffed out. Solid defensive play there by number 53. It's Thomas Mathis, the senior. Solid play there by the Wildcats, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 16 for the Crusaders.
Brings up a second down, 15 from the 24-yard line.
Escalante hasn't been taking too many snaps here in the running back position tonight, which is interesting to see because he does have that running back jersey back on. Vasquez is in the backfield. He's on a wheel route. He's going to go deep. Schneider with a
Snags.
back shoulder catch for the touchdown. That was Thomas Schneider out of the backfield on the wheel route and makes a wonderful adjustment to make the toe tap grab. And the Crusaders are having one heck of a night here tonight. Up 41-0. 42-0 pending the extra point. And Thomas Schneider giving us a highlight here tonight. Grayson Sack had no doubt that he was giving that ball to Thomas Schneider. And what a nice over-the-shoulder grab there by the sophomore. Escalante's kick is up and through. Escalante is 6 for 6 on PATs tonight. He is one impressive kicker, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
He's got some leg on him. I've seen him hit from 55 yards out. Not sure if he's got 60 yards, but in game with the pads, I'm sure stats are a little less, but
Only time will tell there, George.
yep, he's got some impressive leg on him as he's 6 for 6 tonight, giving the Crusaders a 42-0 lead, and we'll cut to a quick break. Welcome back here to Memorial Field at Grand Island Senior High. The Crusaders up 42-0. Axel Escalante sends the kick deep. It's fielded at the 5-yard line. Right up the middle. He's got some room. 2 flags fly as the Wildcat returner is thrown down just about at the 34-yard line, and we'll check the flag. Some conversation amongst the referees. The white cap tonight is head referee Jimmy Langen, GICC legend. He's reffed a few of our middle school basketball games before, Spencer.
Oh, yes, back in the day. Great man.
Yeah.
Great man.
And there he signals a penalty against the Wildcats. And it is a holding against the return team. And the Crusaders this year have scored 85 total points in 3 games. And tonight, in 2.5 quarters, they've scored 42. On pace for just under 80. And the give to Doyles is going to go for a loss of about 3 yards. And that's going to bring this Wildcat offense to be playing behind the sticks yet again.
Number 20, Tyler Boyles on the carry. Tackle for a 2-yard loss.
Ball is marked on the Wildcats' own 22-yard line, 17-yard line. The offensive set is twins left, one right, and I formation. Sander takes the snap. He's got some pressure. He is intercepted by Alberts, and Alberts is nearing the pylon, and he's in. Pick 6 by Jack Alberts.
This GICC team just can't be stopped tonight, George.
They can't, and they're doing everything right.
The pass is intercepted by number 11, Jack
Coach Willie Fair on the sideline is where my eyes went to, and he was going crazy. He ran about 40 yards on that play. in celebration, and Alberts has now scored 1 rushing touchdown. And he also has a pick 6, so scoring from both sides of the ball. Not sure where Sanders was going. I mean, Alberts had to make no adjustment to reel that one in, and then he took it in with ease. And now this one is just messy. Axel Escalante gets his 7th PAT of the night.
Puts it up to 7-7 as well. Impressive stats there from Axel.
The score is 49-0. Both the Strive scoreboard and the scoreboard here are incorrect. We'll see when either of these scoreboards adjust. The local scoreboard has adjusted to 49-0, and it looks like we're working on our own scoreboard. There you see the replay. Alberts only had one man to beat. That ball was looking right at Alberts, looking him dead in the eyes, and he took it in and took it in for 6. An entourage of blockers ready for him. And now the Wildcats down 49-0. Escalante has had a huge workload tonight of kicks. Here he sends off another kickoff. It's going deep. Takes a big bounce, fielded at the 5-yard line. In there, 3 light blue jerseys going. And it's going to be a horse collar tackle. So that'll be a little bit better field starting position here for the Wildcats, as without the horse collar tackle, he would have been down at about his own 11-yard line. Call it a face mask rather than a horse collar. 15-yard penalty, if I'm not mistaken. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this third quarter. And this Wildcat drive will begin on their own 29-yard line. Two backs accompany Sanders. And it's Boyles trying to make a move. Won't get anything, and that's going to go for a loss on the play. Loss of about 1 yard. Wildcats just do not have much going for him here tonight. They're going to have some kinks to sort out in practice and some things to figure out on both sides of the ball. And even on special teams, they have not had any success. Dane Clark and Kyler Boyles both in the backfield. It's Boyles on the carry. Makes a move inside, meets a few teal jerseys. And that will go for a gain of about 7 yards, and that's going to bring up third and manageable here for the Wildcats. However, the Wildcats having trouble managing anything tonight as they face a difficult 49-point deficit. We've got a little younger personnel here now for the Crusaders as they have a comfortable lead. Sander gives the pitch to Boyles, and Boyles is met after a gain of about 1 yard, and that's going to bring up 4th and 3 to go to the marker.
Well, it really does seem that these young gentlemen are still performing just as well as their older counterparts.
Yeah, for sure. And it's mostly to credit that this Superior Wildcat line just is really not doing its job.
They are really in shambles out there.
Yeah, they'll have some work to do before next week. The snap to Sanders, and Boyles on the take will pick up the first down on 4th down, and that'll move the sticks. Good to see for the Wildcats that they've got their first down of the half with 3 to play in this third quarter. David Sambula, one of the 2 seniors. Good to see him making some plays.
Always. Man is a dog.
He is. He's an excellent swimmer, too. That's what he spends most of his year competing in. He's got the build for it, and here he is playing defensive tackle. Sander takes the snap. The pitch is off. And he is spun down after a gain of 4. That was number 21, Camden Boyles, on the carry. Not going to presume relation, but could be Kyler Boyles' brother or cousin, or maybe coincidence. You never know. 2nd and 6 as we approach 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Sander ushers Clark over, looking to pass. He's being pressured by 3 Crusaders, and he's going to throw it away. Number 2 was in the area. He was targeting Cash Wensky, the wide receiver junior. And now it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 to go. There you see defensive coach Willie Fair. This is his 2nd year as a coach, and he's brought just a different culture, and a wonderful culture to this Crusader football team.
Absolutely. So much more energy.
Yeah, lots of intensity compared to years prior. Bootleg right for Sander. It's a foot race. And it's going to be an incomplete pass just along the sideline. He was looking for number 3, Colton Butler. Just not much going on that play. And it's going to bring up 4th and 6. Offense remains. Clock just got under 30 seconds left in this third quarter. The formation, twins right, I formation. Sander looking to pass. He gives it to Clark. Clark trying to make it around the outside. He's going to pick up the first down. And after making one man miss, it's a solid pickup of about 12 yards. That goes for a first down, and that will end the third quarter. The final score at the end of the third is Crusaders 49, Wildcats 0. But the Wildcats have a little bit of momentum under them. We'll catch you at the start of the fourth quarter. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to this fourth quarter of action here for Friday Night Lights at the Memorial Stadium in Grand Island. The first play of this fourth quarter still rumbling around, and it's going to end up being a pickup of 6 yards, bringing up 6 and 4 here on the carry was number 20, Kyler Boyles. Kyler Boyles, the lead back for this Superior team, averaging 137 rush yards per game. Has only punched it in to the end zone one time this year, but he is also the leading tackler, so he sees a lot of action on the football field for this Superior team. I formation. And the back is met just after the line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of 1. On the take was number 21, Camden Boyles. David Sambula makes the stop to bring up 3rd down in the Crusader territory.
Love to see a fellow senior out there putting in their hard work.
For sure. Big body David Sambula making some good plays out there. Sander takes the snap, and the give won't reach the 1st down marker. It's going to bring out 4th and 1. Boyles was on the carry. It is a running clock with the Crusaders having a 49-point lead. Strongest play in the playbook in this situation for the Wildcats on a big 4th and 1.5. It's the give and a lot of room. Boyles right up the middle, and he loses the football. Crusaders recover it and will advance the fumble to the 5-yard line. The Wildcats had some positive light for about 2 seconds and then lose it.
What a shame and waste of an opportunity, truly.
Just that Wildcat ball security has killed them tonight.
They really do have some work to do.
That was going to set up their first big gain of the night. It was about to be a 30-yard run to set up a 1st down within the 10-yard line. And then Boyles loses the football, and a baby blue jersey jumps on it. And now the Crusaders begin possession on their own 5-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Wildcats. Down 49-0. Both teams will talk things over, and we'll catch you after a short commercial break. Crusaders have possession here with 9 minutes and 3 seconds to play in this 4th quarter. First play is going to be a give, and it's a solid pickup for the Crusaders. Call it a 9-yard pickup there. Good 1st down play there for the Crusaders to sneak away from their own end zone in fear of any safety, which the Superior Wildcats were dangerously close to a safety earlier in the same end zone. Taking the snap is Vasquez. Vasquez decides to keep it, and he is met, but not after He picks up the first down to advance the ball to their own 20-yard line with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the game. Dalton Ewers rushes from the sideline to deliver the play, and out comes number 24. Maybe not. I don't have a 24 on my roster, but we've had some jersey number troubles all night, or at least I have. Vasquez gives. That's a solid pickup there by number two, Cesar Garcia, the freshman, and that picks up an easy first down. Game clock on our Strive scoreboard is invalid. There is 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining rather than 5 minutes and 45 seconds, so please excuse our mistake. Mason Vasquez now taking over quarterback duties as this game is essentially won. Garcia makes a nice move, and he has a solid pickup on first down of about 6 or 7 yards. And Garcia showing what he can do. The freshman out of the backfield. Garcia had a really solid game if you think back to that game against St. Cecilia, the season opener. Axel Escalante down there gives us a wave. If he's not waving to us, that might be embarrassing. Mason Vasquez drops the snap, going to take it with him with his legs, and it looks like this one's coming back. And head referee Langen signals a holding call on the offense, and that's going to back him up. And it will bring up 2nd and 13 for the Crusaders. The penalty stops the clock. And now the clock runs, and it's 2nd and some distance now for the Crusaders with a youthful lineup here in this 4th quarter. Ball is on the Crusaders' own 34-yard line. Vasquez quick, gives it to Wolf. Excuse me, that's Axton Haydenfelt on the reception. The freshman, Axton Haydenfelt. I don't recognize that name. He must be a new football player.
I'm not familiar either, but good for him.
Makes the solid play to bring this offense in front of the sticks now for a 3rd and 8 situation. Vasquez looking right, gives the pitch to Garcia. Garcia up the right sideline, makes a nice move, and he is finally met with a rear side tackle, but not after a really nice pickup of about 20 yards. And now it's Crusaders 1st and 10 into enemy territory on the Wildcat 42-yard line. This Crusader youthful lineup is showing a lot of success against this Wildcat team. And the Crusaders up 49-0. Garcia takes, and he gains 4 yards on the play. And what does this game say about the Crusaders this year, Spencer?
Well, we've been performing much better than we have in the past year, and this game is just another great example of how far our program has really come under new coaching and staff.
Yeah, you really got to give credit to guys like Coach Ashby, Coach Dunham, Coach Fair, Coach Brokaw. Coach Brokaw again.
Yes.
The things they've done for this program have just been remarkable.
At the same time, though, you can't snub the players. They've really put in some heart.
Right. Guys like Grayson Sack, Jack Alberts, Graham Stava, Axel Escalante, who's been in this program for a long time. There's a nice spin move to pick up the first down. On the carry, that was number 23, R.J. Roberts, another freshman. Solid pickup there by the young guy. And now this clock is approaching 3 minutes. On the first down play, the give, and he'll be met behind the line of scrimmage. That was R.J. Roberts on the carry again. It'll go for a loss of about 2 yards. And really just a great night all around for Crusaders everywhere. Beautiful night for some football and a big win in their first home win in 3 years for the Crusaders. Winless at home this year, and some growing pains last year with the new coaching and new faculty, and then 3 years ago that was just a struggle all around. And now this year, showing some great signs for the future. We're going to get a false start here on the Crusaders, and that'll make it 2nd and 17, and that will back them up to their own 34-yard line, the Wildcat 34-yard line. Clock nears 2 minutes to play in the game. Bringing in the play is number 22, Axton Haydenfelt from the sideline. Twins left, twins right. Vasquez awaits the snap, motion man, it's Haydenfelt. It's a give. Solid gain there by number 23, R.J. Roberts. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 and a half to go.
Well, with just under 1:30 left, we'll see if the Crusaders can put in yet another touchdown.
Yep, that would definitely be some salt in the wound if they do. Long 3rd down play here for the Crusaders. It'll be another give. And a solid pickup there by R.J. Roberts. And that's going to bring up 4th and 5. It'll be interesting to see what they elect to do here. It's an exact 10-second difference between the play clock and the game clock here at Memorial Stadium in Grand Island. And we'll see what head coach Jeff Ashby elects to do. Vasquez remains in the shotgun, takes the snap. It's a give to Roberts, and Roberts pushes forward, and he's going to pick up the first down, and that's going to do it here tonight. That will be the last play here tonight. What a dominant win as the clock hits the 0 mark. Crusaders amass a total of 49 points and hold their opponent, the Superior Wildcats, to 0. The Crusaders, ranked 10th in C2, heading into this week, they'll likely be bumped up after this dominant performance. The Crusaders move on to 3-1 with their only loss being against Malcolm, and Superior will fall to 1-2. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm George Pilsel alongside
Spencer Weens.
And we'll see you next time.